Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like something was slightly off, as if no matter how hard you tried, things weren't aligning the way you had envisioned them to be? There is a possibility that God is attempting to communicate with you and altering your course of action in order to accomplish a different plan. During the course of this investigation, we will investigate 7 different ways in which God may be indicating that a relationship is not in accordance with His divine plan. We would appreciate it if you could show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel before we get started. Now, let's delve deeper into these 7 signs that come from God. 1. A lack of mental tranquility. One of the most significant signs that God may not be leading you toward a particular relationship is a lack of inner peace. A lack of inner peace is one of the most significant indicators. The passage in Philippians 4-6-7 states that God expresses His approval by means of a profound sense of calmness. There is a possibility that you are receiving a divine nudge to reconsider your actions if you continue to feel uneasy whenever you think about moving forward in a relationship. The fact that this is happening is not an indication that God does not love the other person. Rather, it may be His way of shielding you from threats that you simply cannot see. When it comes to discerning His guidance, it is essential to be led by the Spirit rather than by the feelings. 2. The obstruction. The manifestation of God's will frequently takes the form of opposition. It is possible that He is rerouting your path if you experience unexpected changes, setbacks, or delays to your progress. Despite the fact that it may be tempting to push through and make things happen on your own terms, it is more prudent to pay attention to the signals that God sends. This resistance is not an attack from the devil. Rather, it is a protective measure from God, encouraging you to pause, reevaluate, and think about whether there is a different path that He wants you to take. 3. Alarming signs. In the event that you observe warning signs in the relationship, such as disrespect or unhealthy behaviors, it may be a clear indication that God is not guiding you in that particular direction. In the context of interpersonal relationships, Ephesians 5:25 highlights the significance of love, respect, and care. It is a common mistake to believe that you have the ability to change someone after having married them. Instead, you should look for a partner who shares your values and treats you with love and respect from the very beginning of your relationship. 4. Loss of identity. The purpose of a relationship that God has for you is to bring out the best in you and to give you the opportunity to rediscover who you really are. However, if the relationship is causing you to lose your identity, such as by making you irritable or bitter, this may be an indication that it is not part of God's plan for you to be in that relationship. Don't be afraid to let go of relationships that are harmful to your mental and spiritual health. God will lead you to the things that are truly beneficial to your emotional and spiritual well-being. 5. A failure to possess a fear of God. When there is no fear of God in a relationship, it is a serious matter that needs to be addressed. There is a possibility that there will be a lack of respect and accountability within the relationship if there is no reverence for a higher power. Moving forward without experiencing the fear of God can result in an unstable and chaotic situation. It is essential to make sure that your partner has a profound reverence for the divine, as this will lay the groundwork for a relationship that is both healthy and honoring to God. 6. Lack of compatibility. In the event that our beliefs, values, or visions for the future are fundamentally incompatible with one another, this could be a sign from God that we should exercise caution. The 3rd verse of Amos emphasizes the significance of reaching a consensus when walking together. If you want to maintain harmony in your relationship, you should look for a partner whose interests and values are similar to your own. Pray for wisdom and direction so that you can successfully locate the partner that God has in mind for you. 7. Dreams and visions of the future. God is able to immediately communicate His warnings to you about a relationship that has the potential to cause you harm through the medium of dreams and visions. The biblical account of Abimelech and Abraham, which can be found in Genesis 20, provides us with an illustration of how God intervened to give Sarah protection. Even though God has provided us with direction, He does not interfere with our free will and allows us to make the ultimate choice. 8. Seeking counsel. You can gain valuable insights about a relationship by seeking counsel from trusted spiritual mentors or friends when you are experiencing moments of uncertainty about the relationship. According to the verse found in Proverbs 15:22, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. When it comes to guiding us, God frequently relies on the wisdom of others. It is important to communicate your concerns, to listen to their points of view, and to prayerfully consider the advice that is provided. Putting yourself in the company of a community that is in agreement with godly principles is of the utmost importance. 9. Prayers that have not been answered. In certain instances, God will communicate with us by not answering particular prayers that are associated with the relationship. It may be God's way of encouraging patience or directing you in a different direction if you have consistently prayed for clarity, resolution, or confirmation, but have not received clear answers to your prayers. It is possible to experience a sense of peace and trust in God's perfect timing by coming to terms with the fact that prayers that are not answered are also a form of divine communication. 10. Harmony with the revealed Word of God. It is more likely that God's plan will include a relationship that is in accordance with the principles found in the Bible and the Word of God. In order to gain a better understanding of what constitutes a relationship that is both healthy and honoring to God, you should regularly immerse yourself in the Bible. If there are aspects of your relationship that are in conflict with the teachings of the Bible, it is imperative that you reevaluate and seek alignment with the Word of God. 11. Personal development and spiritual harmony. People are frequently brought together by God for the purpose of mutual development and spiritual alignment. In the event that you discover that the relationship is impeding your spiritual development or pulling you away from your faith, this may be an indication that God has a different plan for your journey. In order to strengthen your connection with God and provide support for your individual journeys of faith, you should cultivate a relationship that promotes spiritual alignment. 12. Confirmation through prayer. When seeking confirmation from God, prayer is a powerful tool that can be utilized. Spend some time praying fervently about the relationship, asking for direction, clarity, and confirmation of His will. Focus on the relationship. To hear the voice of God in the stillness of your heart, you must be open to hearing it. Despite the fact that prayer should not be used to manipulate outcomes, it does serve as a conduit for aligning your desires with the plan that God has for you. 13. Comprehending the plan of God's time. When it comes to matters of the heart, patience is a virtue that is invaluable. In the event that you find yourself rushing into a relationship or experiencing pressure to meet the timelines set by society, you should consider whether or not the timing is in accordance with God's plan. Waiting on God ensures that you will enter into relationships at a time when both you and your partner are ready for the journey that lies ahead. God's timing is perfect. 14. Seasons of discernment. It is important to acknowledge that life is made up of different seasons, and that each season serves a specific function in your overall journey. A relationship that might not be appropriate for the current season might be an excellent fit for a relationship that will take place in the future. Before entering into a committed relationship, it is important to pay attention to the season of discernment, during which God may be directing you to concentrate on issues such as personal development, healing, or other aspects. 15. A sense of purpose. A relationship that is founded on a common sense of purpose, mission, and service to others is frequently in accordance with the plan that God has for the world. Take into consideration whether or not your relationship makes a positive contribution to the world around you and whether or not it connects with a higher purpose. When two people come together with the intention of making a positive impact on the world, It is a manifestation of God's desire for meaningful and purposeful connections to be made between them. Final thoughts. Understanding God's guidance in the context of navigating the complexities of relationships calls for a combination of spiritual discernment, prayer, and alignment with the principles found in the Bible. In order to assist you in determining whether or not a particular relationship is in accordance with God's plan, the following 15 methods serve as a comprehensive guide. It is important to keep in mind that the guidance of God is a journey, and that remaining attuned to His voice will lead you to relationships that bring you joy, fulfillment, and spiritual development. We appreciate you taking part in this investigation with us, and if you found these insights to be helpful, you might want to consider subscribing to our channel so that you can watch more discussions that provoke thought.